Hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. I'm Audrey, a former paralegal turned stay-at-home mom who loves true crime. The cases I cover are wild. Topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's get started on today's case. Her name was Marcy Renee Conrad, and on November 3rd of 1981, she was brutally murdered by a real-life cucuy named Anthony Jacques Broussard. This is her story. Marcy was only 14 years old, a ninth grader at Russell Junior High in Milpitas, California. She filled her notebooks with her original poems and liked passing notes to her friends. When she failed to come home from school that day, her mom, Susan Holland, immediately reported her missing to police. Although Marcy had gone to school on the morning of November 3rd of 1981, as usual, she decided to ditch after lunch to meet up with a boy. What happened next was nothing but usual. Anthony Jacques Broussard went by his middle name of Jax or Jocks. He was a big boy, a whopping 6 feet 4 inches tall and about 280 pounds. Although he was only 16, he had already gone through a lot in life. As a kid, he found his mom unresponsive in the bathroom. She had died in the shower. He was a self-admitted LSD addict. People who knew him described him as strange but harmless. That afternoon, Jax met up with Marcy at a gas station and drove her back to his house where they had sex and smoked cigarettes. What exactly happened next that drove Jax to rape and strangle Marcy to death, we will never really know, as half of the story died when he killed her. Sadly, all we have is his accounts of events. When recalling that fateful night, he said, and I quote, "I was on drugs, LSD. Marcy had a tendency to mouth off. She was sitting on my lap. Basically what happened, I just grabbed her and she was dead." After unaliving Marcy, he placed her inside his pickup truck and drove her half-clothed corpse to the Milpitas Hills and dumped her within the trees. As if nothing happened, the next day he was hanging out with his pals at an arcade parking lot. And not that anybody asked, but he just felt the need to spit out, and I quote, "I just killed Marcy." Since his friends didn't believe a word he said, he directed them to the remains, to Marcy's dead body. His friends, such respectable people, poked her dead body with tree branches as if that was an appropriate thing to do in order to decipher whether or not she was a mannequin. The friend group that this real-life monster was a part of were labeled as the rocker/stoner kids. Gardening, if you will, has just recently been more socially accepted. In the 80s, it was looked at as a gateway drug to much worse and much serious shit. And even though one of his pals used to date Marcy too, none of them said a word. "Jax is a partner of mine. He needs help. He's gone wacko, but I wouldn't narc on him," one of them said. Word of the dead girl on the hill spread by good old word of mouth, and they came in groups to see her as if she was some sort of attraction. Her ex even brought his 8-year-old sibling to see. Some kids had the audacity to throw rocks at her half-naked corpse on the ravine. It is said that Marcy's jeans had a local radio logo patched on, and some other girl saw it while visiting and took it upon herself to tear it off the pants and keep it for herself. Someone tried to hide the body with leaves. Some other kids poked her with sticks. Like I said, some threw rocks at her. These quote-unquote viewings of Marcy's dead body went on for a whole 2 days before someone finally said something, and the media came in with a frenzy. It's a shame that the media reduced Marcy when referring to her as the dead girl. Hot takes is what the media started calling Marcy's murder. Sheriff Sergeant Gary Meeker told the press, and I quote, "I have never seen a group of people act so callous about death in my 15 years of police work," unquote. The media placed blame on the victim, weed, heavy metal, and television as reasons the kids seemed so indifferent and desensitized to the murder of their friend. A local librarian, John Ellis, told the New York Times that he did not think the kids in the Bay Area were acting any different from the kids in other parts of America because, and I quote, "the impact of violence on TV is the same as everywhere else," unquote.